Whether you're healthy or you're sick, pretty much everyone in this country is suffering thanks to this pandemic. But there's one big exception, one group that's thriving, and it's not just private equity people, it's criminals. In New York City, the mass closure of stores has resulted in, predictably, a massive surge in break-ins. According to the New York City Police Department, burglaries of commercial properties are up 75% compared to last year. Burglaries of bodegas and supermarkets are up 400%. If you're a criminal, why not try? If they catch you, New York's bail law means you'll be released without cash bail. Tammy Bruce hosts Get Tammy Bruce on Fox Nation. She joins us tonight. Tammy, thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Hi, Tucker.
So,
my pleasure.
Of all the things to worry about, I'm sure people will say, why should I care if a bodega gets robbed? I guess the much bigger concern is that we're starting to see the society fray. And from there, things can move really quickly in the wrong direction. Are you concerned about that?
Well, yes. So I've stayed in Manhattan through this process, and it is very eerie because one of the things that makes you feel safe in Manhattan, especially as a woman, is that there are so many people on the street. Well, that, of course, is over now. Yes. So there's a general sense of foreboding when you do go out, really at any point, because there's really no one around. Everyone's, maybe they're jogging or getting some fresh air, walking their dog, but very few people. Also, several hundred NYPD officers, of course, have been stricken. These are, of course, it's an equal opportunity dynamic. So you have fewer police. We've got the National Guard coming in, but it's going to be mostly for medical. So in the midst of these neighborhoods, we already have shops boarding themselves up, anticipating this dynamic. And then you have the releases, not just the no bail law, which has been awful, releasing criminals with no real repercussions for certain kinds of crimes. But now they've got a list of individuals. They've already released about 900 from people from Rikers Island and other jails who they feel are particular at risk for the virus. Now, look, if you're nonviolent, they said it would be nonviolent people to be released so that there's fewer people getting sick. But ABC News received a list that actually included violent offenders awaiting trial. The New York Post reports on a 63-year-old man awaiting trial for attempted murder who was released because he may be at higher risk. Two men involved in an armed robbery where a New York police detective was killed were also on the list to be released. So they tell you there's nonviolent offenders being released, but that is not true. Finally, prosecutors had to intervene. So New Yorkers are the first victims here. It has nothing to do with politics. I mean, I'm sure they voted for many of these politicians who are making these choices. Right. And then we all in our neighborhoods have to worry about the nature of whether or not we're going to be safe because of the previous decisions, the bad policy decisions that both Albany, New York, and Cuomo has made, as well as de Blasio. And we see our lives kind of crumbling within a social structure and safety framework. And that's the last thing we need right now, obviously.
I mean, it just takes hundreds and hundreds of years to build a society this functional, this complex, this clean, this orderly, this happy. Mm-hmm. And it can go south really fast. And I just hope that we appreciate that. Tammy, you're brave for staying there. And we appreciate the update tonight from New York.
My pleasure. This is a great city. It's worth saving.